Hey everyone! If you're a true Lakers fan, this channel is for you. Here you'll find game analysis, breaking news, and everything you need to know about your favorite team. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any content. Your support is crucial for us to keep growing together. Let's go, Lakers!
A fair way to categorize somebody who had 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting against the Boston Celtics in Monday Night Summer League game in Las Vegas. 3 boards, 1 assist, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 3 fouls, and 2 turnovers. But we talk about him the way that we talk about the rookies who are actually making an impact in Vegas and starting to, put the pieces together towards their NBA careers beginning as rookies in a couple of months when training camp starts. But it's an interesting situation. Myron Medcalf, Courtney Cronin with you here on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. It's an interesting situation because we talk about this and we all have our opinions on how we view Bronny James' NBA viability. Hearing from others in the NBA, players who, are currently playing, is not something that typically happens. We have heard from Lebron James, Bronny James' dad, about the whole situation. We know how he feels about it. But what about those who are currently in the NBA? How do they feel? Like, you don't find that too often until last night. So Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, who was at a summer league game. He was with Kaiser Gundrizik, who was a WNBA player, most recently with the Sky here in Chicago, and Angel Reese. The three of them take in this game between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers out at Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. And from lip readers who posted this on social media, they allegedly caught Jaylen Brown saying, quote, "I don't think Bronny is a pro." And Kaiser Gundrizik, this WNBA player, sitting next to him, you can see him there in the video, said, quote, according to lip readers, "I think he'll be on the G League team for sure." Going back to Jaylen Brown, quote, "I don't think so. I think because of his name, he'll be on the Lakers." Now, I'm not a lip reader expert. Myron, I don't know how you fare in this category, but it's interesting because this got posted via the Twitter account Clutch Points. And just as of an hour ago, Jaylen Brown responded on his own Twitter, quote tweeting this, saying, quote, "It's a flex to have your son alongside you in the NBA. It reflects greatness and longevity. Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful. I look forward to watching his growth." To me, that wasn't denying what he may or may not have said at Summer League. To me, this was more of, I said what I said, you just happened to catch me on camera saying it, but I stand behind what I said about somebody I don't think is an NBA player.
Yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown didn't have to tweet that. I mean, I respect that he did, but he didn't say anything wrong, Courtney. I mean, he obviously confirmed that he did say Bronny's not a pro, and I agree with him. I don't think Bronny will be in the G League because of who his father is. They're going to put him on the Lakers bench and try to get him on the court with them. Bronny isn't a pro, and that was clear going into the draft. It's clear in what we watched in Summer League. It's clear what we watched at USC. Bronny James is with the Lakers in Summer League right now. Bronny Johnson would be playing at UC Santa Barbara, right? Bronny James should be playing in college somewhere, maybe not even at the high Power 5 level, because I think he would grow that way. He wasn't a great player at USC. He doesn't have an NBA skill that can really make an impact at that level, and I think you're seeing that in Summer League so far. So I respect Jaylen Brown for coming out and tweeting and saying, they got me. I said what they said I said, but I'm also not going to change anything because he's telling the truth. Bronny James is here because of his father, fine. But he is not at the level where he compete with the best players in the world. We have to be honest about that and not sort of, pretend like there's some future there where he's going to find his way into being an impactful player. I don't see that happening based on where he is right now.
And the hard thing is right now, because the other Lakers draft pick that we talk about is their first round pick, and that's Dalton Knecht. Yeah. He's actually had, through 4 games, I know Summer League just started, but he's actually had a pretty decent showing in the majority of his games that have taken place out in Vegas. Yet the conversation around Bronny James and what to no fault of his own, what's being forced through, what people want him to be versus what he is, that's overshadowing what the Lakers have right now in their top draft pick, somebody that they hope will, contribute from the wing pretty early on, somebody who will actually be on this roster in contributing a role and not just, taking up a spot on the bench down towards the, being number 14 or 15. Like, that's the issue that I have with this. Like, I'm reading this game recap from, the Los Angeles Times right now about not overreacting about Summer League, but then also taking into account what we're seeing from Bronny James. Like, they're saying James airballed 2 3-pointers, the crowd groaning as he started ice cold from beyond the arc. The detractors continue to murmur while supporters had to settle for moments such as a deflected pass and a defensive rebound that showcased his 40-plus inch vertical until he swished a jumper in the fourth quarter for his only points. What are we doing here? Like, this is trying to rationalize a decision that we all know was made based on who this guy's father is. That's not doing, like, if being an athlete is about being a competitor and being a winner and being somebody who doesn't want a participation trophy, the fact that you've got people in the audience who are effectively feeding into the good job, good effort narrative surrounding Bronny James is flat out embarrassing, and something that I don't even feel like LeBron, for as much as he's trying to push this thing forward, he can't even be behind that. Like, if your kid stinks out there, and I hope that you're letting him know that when he's out here taking up the spotlight at Summer League for really crappy play.
Yeah, why are we talking about Bronny James like this? This is the NBA. This is the Summer League. This is not a school production of The Wizard of Oz and he's playing the 10-man. Let's talk about him like a potential pro. He's not good enough, and that's what we're seeing, and it's okay to say that. He hasn't done anything in college. He hasn't done anything in Summer League to say, I'm a pro. We have to assess him as that. So when the supporters are saying he jumped high, so what? Let's go to the park down the street from wherever you live. I'll show you some cats who can jump high. Can you play in the NBA? That's the question. Bronny James, to me, hasn't proven he can do that.
Good for Jaylen Brown saying the quiet part out loud here, and maybe the fact that he's not on Team USA. And that was a decision that was made last week when Derek White was the alternate who was chosen to replace Kawhi Leonard on Team USA, and it wasn't Jaylen Brown. We know how he feels about it, but you don't have to hide how you feel, because if Jaylen Brown was on Team USA, he wouldn't be at Summer League. He'd be over in Australia right now competing before they get ready to go to the Olympics. But you don't hear, it's not like you expect anybody to come out that currently plays in the NBA and just completely trash the Bronny James situation. But you also don't have anybody speaking about this in an honest tone that's currently in the NBA, because LeBron still reigns supreme across the league. People don't want to upset him, from current players to marketing partners to people in the NBA who are not calling this out for what it is, which is nepotism, which is fine. If you've worked your entire career to put your kid in this situation, that's great. But there still needs to be the level of honesty that comes with it, that, hey, you're great, good on you for doing it. Your kid still is not very good and probably not an NBA player. Jaylen Brown is effectively the only messenger who can deliver this the way that he did and double down on it and not try to cower and be like, well, that's not what I said. I frankly think he said what he said on Monday night, Myron, and this is a situation that we're in now where he's not running from it.
Yeah, and I respect that he tweeted that it didn't back down from those comments.
All right, coming up next here on Unsportsmanlike, we've got 8 teams, rookies, reporting to training camp today. Who is primed to get the most out of their rookie class this season?